Welcome back to the Bros. In this landfill, it's kill or be killed.
Okay.
Your hosts for this week are Lunch Mix Moves.
Damn it, I knew it. I should have. I suddenly regret my username because that's so much better than anything I would have come up with.
Well, when you eventually get around to making your second channel where you do dance moves on it, you can call that Lunch Mix Moves.
I wouldn't mind trying to learn some dance actually, just because it would be something different.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Speaking of sick, we have Tara the Ash Raichu.
Hi.
Who's one of the guys who has a significant other in this cast as well as me.
Wait,
Well,
so I'm the
yeah.
only one who's actually looking for love, and you guys are both taken.
Well,
so what the fuck?
Well,
We're
I
just
feel
here.
like
We're just along for this ride, buddy.
Well, I feel like Tara and I are here to help give our perspective. So maybe you could take some of our knowledge and apply that to your quest for finding that special someone.
You can steal our answers and make yourself a fucking liar.
You mean a fucking Chad?
because we're bigger Chads than Lunch.
Speaking of Chads, your resident Chad here is me, Try, and I'm definitely a Chad. Trust me, I'm a Chad. I am not. I'm sitting here in a closet drinking green tea, pretending not to be a soy boy. I don't eat soy, but I'm not a soy boy. I'm a Chad. I promise.
You're a complete soy boy.
So you guys are saying that I need to go on a date sometime and remember your guys' answers to these questions, so she thinks I'm an elite Chad.
Yes,
exactly.
That is exactly what we're saying.
So what you need to do is
you're the smallest Chad in our group, Lunch.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, granted, the biggest Chad is Dizzy because he's accepted that he doesn't need no woman.
Right, that's high level Chad. That's like beyond wanting. Okay,
Yeah.
Should we get started on the remaining?
Yep. Oh yeah.
All right.
Questions?
Last week we did the first 18 questions to find love, and now we're gonna do the second 18 super fast, probably, maybe, I don't know.
Rapid fire version.
Question number 19.
If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living? Why?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what I'd change. I definitely try to make the best of the year. Make sure that I had things settled. So for my wife and whatnot, make sure that she had a fun year with me at the end.
Maybe I'd be a more frivolous spender, but I mean,
I'm already too frivolous as it is with my games. I've been trying to cut back on my games and my manga. What about you, Lunch?
To be honest, I might try a bunch of drugs. I mean, if I'm gonna die in a year's not that long. I may as well just I don't know. It's like, oh no, don't do drugs because you ruin your whole life. Well, I've only got a year, so I don't know.
Hey, the drugs might be the cure or give you a superpower.
That's true. I don't know. Well, I guess I probably wouldn't be daring enough to go that hard, or have the access. But I mean, I don't know. I'd probably try some fucking
Just be sure to save meth for last, okay?
Well, apparently I'm in the meth capital of New Zealand. My city is apparently the meth capital. So I'm probably closer to getting meth than you'd think. I don't know. I'd probably try some hallucinogenic whatever. I think there's another word for that. Some shrooms.
Magic mushrooms?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I try to spend less time just on Twitter.
Oh, bitch, please.
So I guess I'll be moving from one drug to another. That's my answer.
Oh.
Should we move on?
It's funny because it's true.
Well, I think it's funny. It's funny because it's funny because any drug is probably better than Twitter.
Yikes!
Probably. I'm not likely
to see
Project doing
number
another
20. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Question number what?
Question number 20.
What does friendship mean to you?
Pass.
Friendship to me means that that it's someone that I could always talk to and be honest and open to, and even if I disappear for a few, like if I'm not always talking with the person, like if I'm not always present, that this person's always someone I can still go back to and talk to and have a good understanding with. It's a person I have a good understanding with, I guess.
That doesn't make us your friends, Try. That makes us your coworkers.
I mean, we're both.
You're making a lot of assumptions there, buddy.
Whoa! I talk with you guys far more than I talk to real life people. I'm a fucking hermit, and I got a fucking job.
So am I. Don't worry.
Hermit Chad. I guess for me, friendship is, that honesty thing is one of the biggest parts. Like if I have to be like someone that I'm not to any degree, I'm more likely to let that friendship kind of slowly slip, because there's only so much I can give other people. So, if I can be honest and the other person is gonna be honest with me, it's probably the biggest thing. But also someone that you can have an actual conversation with and explore some thoughts and feelings with.
I think. So I know I said pass earlier, but for me, I'd say a friend is someone I can share specifically my interests with, because I'm a fucking selfish bitch.
Oh, so we're not your friend because you keep dodging the topic whenever you want to talk about your interests.
That's right. None of you are my friends.
Well, what? You know what? On that note, let's move along.
Question number 21.
What roles do love
Don't
and
worry,
affection
Lunch, I consider
play
you my
in your
friend.
life? What roles do love
Could you
and
please
affection
repeat the
play in
question?
your
I couldn't
life?
hear you over Try.
What roles do love and affection play into my life?
Oh, fuck.
I mean, I guess I could.
Well, my existence without Tiny Hat would be a very lonely one indeed.
I mean, I guess like for me as a married man, love and affection is part of like my emotional support structure. We emotionally support each other and whatnot, and the affection we show and the love we show for each other, especially through tough times, and that unconditional understanding and being able to work through things together, that even like I guess that not even like a friend could help with, if that makes
like
I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. I think maybe possibly probably.
Yeah, there's some things that like you don't go to friends first about, and I think that's what's sort of important about having a relationship with a love and affection to me.
I think something about love and affection that is nice, I guess, is that it's it's kind of like validation from another person in a sense, which feels weird to say because it feels almost insecure, but there kind of is an insecurity.
Oh, don't worry about it. I crave validation.
Yeah, well, it's like there is like a vulnerability in loving somebody and being loved. So it's
not like that though.
What am I trying to say? I guess it's like being seen and like, hey, I see you and I accept you like fully. That's kind of how I feel about it.
And that's pretty important in this ever expanding world where like 100 years ago it was just small communities. You knew everybody in your community and everybody sort of knew you. Now the world's so big, there's so many people, it's hard to get your voice out there or feel loved or appreciated or that you have any importance or attention in the world, and having that one person who gives that to you and sees your positives for what they are, I think is important for us humans to have from emotional support structure.
Well,
sure.
There you go.
Moving on. Question number 22.
Okay, I don't know if this one exactly... Wait, am I still here? Like, can you guys hear me?
You're still here.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
I hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Okay. I'm not sure how applicable this is to 3 people in a podcast format, but it says alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. So how about we all just say one positive thing about each of the other 2 members?
Sure. Who's going first?
Oh, God. Fucking put on the spot, man.
Try. This was your idea. You go first.
Well, okay, so I think I'll start off with lunch because I think it's the most tangible thing to put together. One of the things I really appreciate about lunch is his like open-mindedness and curiosity. That's something I value in essentially anybody. I wish more people had that sort of willing to question, but not. I was actually talking with my wife about this other day. Is that you're very like it doesn't matter what what I feel like your opinion might be on something. You just feel very open to talk about whatever and accept and not judge somebody for that opinion right off the bat.
Well, thank you. That is something I
feel
value about myself.
And I think in this, and especially in this this Twitter world where headlines and outrage reactions from whatever news story might there be, it's nice to see someone who's just like, okay, like let me figure out more things about this before I just make up my mind on whatever.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay.
On the other hand, Tara's fucking hilarious. Like,
do go on, feed my ego even more.
Yes.
And even if we're talking about something that Tara's maybe not necessarily interested in, or Tara's like doesn't have a lot to say, or the other like me, Dizzy, are just like dominating the conversation. Like even if Tara doesn't say much, whenever he does speak up, it's probably like the most perfect thing to say at that moment.
I'm glad.
Okay, I guess I'll take it.
You don't waste words.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
He hates me. I knew it.
Shit, gotta think of something nice. Okay, I don't know how to phrase this. So I'm just gonna do my best. But I like the low amount of fucks that Tara seems to give. And this is a positive thing.
Hey, that is an overstatement.
This is about this is another thing about honesty.
I'm glad you worded it the way you did.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how else to do it.
The low amount of fucks that Tar seems to give because I am a very insecure person.
No, let me tell you what I mean here.
Okay.
So earlier we brought up, or Try brought up, like, oh, have you seen, Lunch's poem? It's really cool. And you were like, I don't like poetry. And then it was like, okay, fine. He doesn't like you didn't feel the need to be like, well, maybe I should try watching this thing that I definitely won't connect with because, it's Lunches. And it's like you were totally okay with just being like, nah. And like there are like there've been other like topics where we've been talking about like a particular like like the Nintendo Direct or whatever, and being like, so what do you think, Tara? And you're like, I don't care. So I like that. I like your honesty and how you're just yourself, and I appreciate that. And I like how Try is very like, he cares very much about what is like right, or like, I guess it's kind of what he said about me, but like I'm kind of more chill, open-minded, while he's like, I've got to get to the bottom of things, and like I don't. You care about what is correct and what is just. And sometimes I feel like I don't really like care about things enough. Maybe I'm on the giving fewer fucks side of things, but I like that about you.
Well, on the flip side, you also do pull me back and get me to check myself. because like I do like well yes, I care about what's right and what's not. I do tend to get overly specific, like care way too much about very specific things that rather than the big like
Right.
picture.
Well, when you get focused,
I get too
that
hyper
kind of thing
focused
can
on.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have
So yeah,
people around you.
Yep.
Because some things I probably wouldn't even care about at all if you weren't there.
Yay.
Yay! Alright, so that puts it to mine, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with lunch. This may just be entirely from like a podcast standpoint, but I do appreciate the fact that in this environment filled with socially awkward fuckwits, you don't let the air be dead.
And that's why the episodes have been better since you've come on.
Absolutely. You have been an invaluable addition to this podcast.
Well, and even on the episodes he's not on, it's like you can see his influence like since joining.
You think
that
so?
We try to I think we definitely, I know with me and Dizzy, we like sometimes better than others, but we definitely try to live up to a bit of your example while we're on cast.
Wow.
Like we want to capture what you've brought to the cast even when you're not on. At least I know I try to. For better or for worse.
I suppose if you wanted me to say something that wasn't like business related, you seem like you're like the closest thing we have to like the wise old sage archetype.
Okay.
Like
that's nice.
Like you always like you like you seem to have like a deeper, like you seem to be able to comment on something in like a deeper manner than at least I would be able to.
Yeah. Like you've got like this, you're like got this very spiritual. You come off like this like spiritual. Like if we ever have like the religion of the landfill, you'd be like the Pope.
Okay. Like a super chill Pope.
Hashtag landfill Pope.
You're good to be the spiritual leader of something.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the literal garbage.
Yep.
Okay. Try. Sorry, man, you have no redeeming qualities.
Yeah, moving
but
on.
that is my redeeming quality.
Moving on. Sorry, man. Can't come up with something on the spot for you.
Aww.
Somebody's got.
I know, it's disappointing.
Great. Now my insecurities are just bubbling up.
Where's that love and affection, man?
That's right.
Yeah, love and affection.
I guess I'll just double down on what Lunch said. Like, you do have a very strong sense of justice.
And that is
like, it's not
genuinely
unique,
cool.
but I mean, like that has been kind of your defining landfill trait, other than the fact that you stumble over your words a lot. But I mean, like,
hey, you're meant to be saying nice things.
No, me stumbling over my words is a positive trait.
Is it though?
I find it interesting you guys say that like I've got a strong sense of justice, and I don't like disagree with that. I think it sort of comes around to this frustration that people are so focused on these petty minor squabbles when there are real like people dying in this world from things that we could totally fix if we just took our focus away from what X person said or did on Twitter and moved over to be like, there are still people that just the water in like Flint, Michigan, still not drinkable for fuck's sake. It's like
I don't like this environment either, where you have to feel like you just walk on eggshells just to get through the day.
Yeah, and then you can't like be like, look, I get where you're coming from, but are you sure that you're focusing your? It's like, you can't say anything because everybody's so easily offended about everything. I wrote him a paper.
You can't
college.
say anything that says man that says and that can and does say anything he wants.
But that's partially like I'm trying to force myself to say things. But I actually like wrote a paper in college about how like when it comes to like political correctness, it's like every group, every culture has their own version of political correctness, and frankly, you can't police what everybody says because, like, where do you stop? Like, you can't like when
Seems
anything
like the
can offend
exact
any.
opposite viewpoint you've been giving
Yeah.
up to this matter, but okay.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like when anybody can be offended about anything, how can you police? Like, where do you stop to say, okay, we can't say this, we can't do this?
Well, this is why I appreciate Tar giving such a low amount of fucks. Because somebody has
I give
to,
too many fucks.
you know?
I give
Tiger
too
Martyr,
many
gentlemen.
I give far too many fucks.
Yeah, man. You're just giving out your fucks like they're candy, man.
Yeah, I'm the candy man. I'm the fuck man.
Gotta put them back in the tray.
Let's
Okay
move on.
then.
Should we move to the
move
next
on.
question?
Question number 23.
How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Very close, and yes, very much so.
I mean,
Cool.
I wouldn't like. My family wasn't like. I would say a good sort of child. I had a good house. I was in a middle class family and whatnot.
I'm going to interrupt you for just one moment and say that I'm very glad that Dizzy is not around for this question. Okay, please continue.
But like my family was always the sorts we just went off and did our own things, like watching our own shows, playing our own things. We'd occasionally have dinner together, play stuff together, but we were very like individualistic. Like
Me too.
Yeah.
Question number 24.
Yeah.
Sorry, but my internet's kind of weird, so I don't know when I've cut out or when it's just silent.
Oh yeah, no. You might.
When the air is just dead. You know, the thing that I complimented you
Maybe
on.
Thanos just snapped.
You're letting me down, Lunch.
Your sync did seem a bit late, so I wonder if there's a bit of lag on your end.
Probably. All right. Well, just cut out that conversation we just had when editing.
Aye.
Okay. I actually will do it this
Cool.
time.
Okay.
We're holding you to this, Try.
So, how close and warm is my family? I mean, it's weird. It's hard to make sweeping statements about families because I feel like the more I learn about other people, the more I realize everyone's family is a bit weird, and there's that perfect sitcom family is not quite a thing, or there's always a little bit of somebody will kind of have that, but then they'll have a meth auntie. So I think my family's pretty good, especially considering both my parents grew up with they had pretty bad home lives, and so they tried to make a nice and peaceful one when they got together and make the kind of normal they didn't have. So yeah, I think mine was nice. My parents have never been super strict on me or anything. Though we all also were a bit that same thing of being very individualistic and not really, talking to each other very much and going away in our little hidey holes.
That's fair.
That's partially probably because, my parents didn't know what a normal healthy family relationship looked like. Or I guess they were a bit more out of sync with.
Just talking about it earlier, it's this is the way you need to do this with your kids, and this is the way you can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but it's interesting because I feel I've gotten a much stronger relationship with especially my dad since I left home, because now when we see each other, it's we don't take it for granted anymore. Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't say my childhood was happier than most people's, because I can't possibly know that, but I had a nice childhood, I think.
Well, for what it's worth, you came out to be a good person from it.
No, I thank you.
Yay!
That's all I can ask for.
Okay. Question number 24.
Did you tell us about your family?
I gave my answer first.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right. All right. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
I think we already went over this. We kind of went over this already.
It sort of just kind of answers the same. It's the same sort of answer.
It's the same question. Okay. Question number 25. I like my mom too.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one that's weird for 3 people. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling blank. Okay, this is This seems like, you know, you want to do
Weird.
this with your date, like in like the cafe, like in a particular.
Let's all give one we true statement.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Other than we are all doing a podcast right now.
Fuck!
Because I knew that was I knew that was going to be Tar's answer.
That's just fucking brutal, man.
Read like a fucking tabloid.
Yeah.
Dude's just trying to survive out here, man.
Yeah. Trying to survive. I need to think on this one because I need to think of something good.
We are all heterosexual men.
Define
Nice.
heterosexual.
Likes girls. That can't be what it would say if I looked up in the dictionary. But that's an interesting thing to say, to ask for clarification for. Makes me wonder if you have more to share. But it's fine. I feel like I get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked with you on Discord a bit, but I think sexuality is one of those weird, like
This is one of
topics.
And this is one of those internet dumpster fires that I don't want any part of.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. It's not something like sexuality is such a weird concept, in my grand view, like my grand big thinking view of the world. It's one of those topics where I think culture has oversimplified and sort of created these terms where, if we look like historically, sexuality wasn't cut and dry like this. Like the terms heterosexual, homosexual, whatnot were created like not even like a few, like these classifications were created like I think only a few centuries ago. It's
Right.
not like if we look at if we look through our whole history of humans, heterosexual and homosexual weren't a thing. People fucked whoever they wanted to fuck, whether it be girls or boys.
So yeah, I definitely think it's a spectrum. Like, I'm very open about this. I feel like I get a little gayer like every year, like just over time.
I feel like I get a little gayer every second I'm on AAO. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing either.
Man, I just like fucking. I know we're not talking about Mortal Kombat this week, but Liu Kang in the new game is fucking hot, dude. I don't care how straight you are.
I mean that's fair. I was actually like when I was playing and it was like, man, Johnny Cage aged very
Use
gracefully.
your words, Try.
No, I won't. No, like, man, Johnny Cage really aged gracefully.
Wait, okay, so you guys, we all have to make we statements, and so I started with we're all heterosexual men. Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, we can say Try is heterosexual, but biromantic.
Yeah. I'm in a heterosexual relationship. We can go with that.
Okay, I'm glad we found our middle ground here.
Yeah.
Try, you go next. I'm trying to think still.
Surely we have more in common.
Yeah.
You think I know more about you guys by now?
We all really need to like get our act together and plan out these podcasts a bit more.
Yes.
Fucking hell, man! You trying to call me out like this?
I'm calling myself out. God damn it!
It's a kamikaze call out.
Yeah, it's a kamikaze.
He sunk the ship he sunk the ship to kill the captain.
Exactly.
Well, use your words, Tar.
No, I won't!
We are out of it today. All right.
Yeah.
Tar, you can do this.
We all need to move on to the next question. Question number 25.
Next question is...
It was true, though.
Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank.
My love of Star Realms.
Well, surely there's at least one human in the vast galaxy for that.
Oh, of course. I share it with everyone. So it doesn't really work, but I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind.
You just want to spread the good word.
I want to spread the good word, but Try won't let me.
No. No, you're able to talk about just because I disagree with you on Star Realms. Like the other thing you remember about
you.
No, the other thing you remember about Star Realms is that playing physical and playing digital are two completely different experiences.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
So just because I don't like Star Realms doesn't mean I wouldn't have fun playing a physical copy of it. I just wouldn't go out of my way to buy it because I don't even play board games that much anymore. So oops. Anyways, back to the question. I don't really know how to answer this because, like, my wife and I are already share basically everything. We're very open with each other. It's one of the tenets to having a good relationship is just trying to being as open and honest. That's what our relationship is built on a foundation of.
Yeah. That's sometimes that's difficult though.
The cop out answer would be I wish I could share multiplayer games with people more because my wife's not a competitive gamer. But to the same extent, I am a very salty person. I don't have fun playing multiplayer games with people. I just want to do it more.
Well, then you'd probably want to you'd want to be playing like Mario Kart or something with somebody where it's like a bit less skill based, but you still get that like competitive.
Oh no, it's the word. No, I am such a sore loser that oof. That's probably the other problem with my wife and I. We're both really sore losers, so we don't I can't I can't stop myself from playing at my best because but at the same time I don't want to see her upset because she loses because we're just like that.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder if that's a trait that depends on I mean, I guess of course everything's like this, but if you had met someone who was more chill about losing, I wonder if they would have become saltier or you would have become sweeter.
I think I think I'm just not fun to play games with because of how how salty I am. Also, the other thing with playing video games also is, I mean, it's especially true with fighting games, is I love showing off and I love trying to do all the special inputs.
I really don't like moves. That you cut out just now.
Oops. And that's especially why I was frustrated with 10 adding in brutalities, because one of the things I liked about Mortal Kombat is I can do the finishers after the match is over, but when it came to brutalities, it's I gotta do the brutality to show off. I gotta.
Oh yeah, that stuff's too complicated for me.
Yeah. But I think in 11 you can do brutalities outside of when it says finish them. You don't need to do it as the very last move with some of them. Okay. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I think I saw I saw a replay where it was like that.
Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share. Okay, there has to be a safe for work answer to this question.
One's trying to get it on.
Hey, look, these are 36 questions for love.
That's fair.
He wants to share his massive hands.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. We get the picture. Yes, let's move on. Lunch wants to share the next question with us.
Yeah, sure.
Good, I broke Tar. That makes me happy.
Question number 27. This is another question doesn't really apply. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. But we're already friends.
We're already friends.
Is there anything
friends
that you think is important?
Moving on.
Okay.
Well, no. Well, we got we want to get to 36.
We want to get to 36, and we don't have a lot of time.
I'd like to share with you guys that we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are doing a podcast right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, shit.
Anyway, next question.
Question number 28.
This is another one that only works in a date format. We're gonna have to skip this one too, but it's like.
Question number 29.
Let him read it first.
No, it's okay. We need. Well, it was just another one that was tell you your partner something else that you like about them, but be very honest and say something you might not say to someone you've just met. But we already treated the question like that because we haven't just met.
I'll tell Lunch that very honestly, something I do think about is like how awesome your hair is.
Oh wow,
you do have a very majestic mane.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I mean it's. Yeah, I grew up like in high school, I guess, because my friend Cruiser666, not his real name, had long hair, and I hang out with him a lot. And then I guess I just grew out my hair, and
I feel like the day your hair gets cut, I'm gonna lose a part of my soul.
yeah, well, I mean, it's really like it feels like part of my brand almost now, like it's kind of part of me, like.
Yeah, it really works as your part of your image.
It's funny because it like I guess it kind of gives that chill sage vibe you guys were talking about, but it's funny because I don't know, it makes me feel like I look like I'm some kind of like hippie who like knows about like fucking everything. Yeah, but like I just a nerd who plays too much Sonic the Hedgehog, so like it's a fun like
fucking Sonic the Hedgehog is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Ah shit, Audacity's probably
you freaking fricks. I don't know. Okay, question 29.
Sammy.
I'm saying, I think he's the antithesis to the idea that Sonic is the source of all. No, Sonic is the source of all pain. So, like, I mean,
you freaking fricks!
Like, I guess maybe you find peace if you stare deeply enough into the abyss that is Sonic and realize that. Well, like, that's how you learn Buddhism, man. Because Buddhism is all about accepting that there will always be suffering in life, and that you just have to stop wishing things were a different way. So, I mean, look at the Sonic movie and tell me you don't have to feel that way to not go insane.
I don't know.
I love how we got to this point because of Lunch's hair.
I mean, the Sonic movie is the upper echelons of perfection. That's all I can say.
Oh, God.
Like it's perfect in every way.
He's supposedly getting a redesign, guys.
Question number 29. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
I already did.
Well, I didn't get a chance to tell like one of my worst memories, so I think this would be a good apt time. So this would have been high school. There was my sophomore year play.
Oh boy, people, get ready for the cringe.
So I was the narrator for this like fairy tale, like this retelling of a fairy tale sort of thing.
Oh no!
And if you know anything about narration lines, they tend to be bulky, scene transition-y, and not the easiest things to remember because they're a bunch of word jarble. And I had two specific sets of lines that were very similar. And on the second night, on the first night went fine. The second night, I said the wrong line, and it was a narration line for like 2 pages ahead.
Shit.
Now, granted, I warned the director that I wasn't going to be able to remember these on stage because I have stage fright problems. That's like, it's not like stage fright. It's like more like a deep-seated stage anxiety that I have a hard time controlling. I'm not I'm up there like, what the fuck are you doing, body? I'm confident. Why are you doing this to me? God fucking damn it!
I've had that before.
Like I'm more pissed at my body for betraying me than I am being afraid on stage. But I told the director, like, look, at least give me, like, you don't have to put the entire script on there, just give me my lines in order. B, I had a prop that was this big fucking book in front of me that we could have slid lines into, and the director's like, no, you can't look at your lines. It's like,
you're sabotaging your entire operation here.
It's like, I have to look at the book anyway because it's a prop. It would look really weird if I'm just sitting there turning pages looking at the audience.
So you said the totally wrong thing. Did it throw off the rest of the performance at all? Like,
oh yeah, like the lead actor, the lead actors are just standing there not knowing what to do, and then like, but to make matters worse, when I got off stage, there was like this end table off stage, and there was a lamp on it. I bumped into the lamp, knocked it off, and it shattered right after I got off stage.
That is beautiful.
And my fucking day was ruined.
That.
Right. Like if it wasn't,
worries.
And it wasn't. It
Ooh,
wasn't.
boy, I'm glad I got out of there.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't bad enough just to screw things up on stage. It was a whole nother thing to break the vase right afterwards. It just solidified just the moment.
Oh, that's that's like the.
I think I wanted to
comical
be an
punctuation
actor
on
when
that.
I wanted to grow up. That was yeah.
No way.
Needless to say, I did break down after that, and it was not fun. It was a fucking wreck.
Question number 30?
Well, this was an embarrassing story, and not like just a terrible story. So I could still answer this, I guess.
Oh, well then.
But I'll just try and be quick because it's kind of hard to think of a super embarrassing story, but I feel like I've got something. You reminded me of something that sort of qualifies. Like, because you were talking about being on stage and feeling like your body was betraying you, even though you felt fine. I had something similar. Because so I do slam poetry, obviously. And like over like the first half of last year, I think it was, or maybe it's over the year in general. I don't really remember. I was kind of pushing the boundaries of how ridiculous I can make my poems because like I was trying to find my limit of like how bold I could go because like it's I don't know just because it was fun. And so I wrote a poem about how it would have been really hard to take dick pics in the 1800s.
What?
Because, like, you know...
Wait, you said embarrassing story, not your most fucking epic story.
Look... So it's like, because, you know, like, the very first cameras took, like 2 hours to take the picture, and so, like, you know... And you have to be perfectly still. So, like, you know, there's obviously a lot of logistical problems there. And then, like... Anyway, that was basically the concept of the poem. And... I had just recently started dating my girlfriend at the time, and and I'd never met her mom before, but her mom was in the audience. I was told like my mom's showing up, and I was like, well, there's no turning back now. so that was basically her first impression of me, and I read this poem about dick pics. But and like anyway, the embarrassing thing is like I was reading it and like I felt fine, but my body was like, no, this is not good. And so like I was just I could just feel this rising like intensity like in my chest, and I was trying to like go through it, but like my voice was starting to like peter out, and then like I almost fainted, and somebody had to like come and like grab me and be like to take me out. And so I got through like the first like stanza of the poem, I guess. I did end up going back on later, sitting on a stool to read the rest because I was kind of like, oh. But I guess that was embarrassing because I'm usually very confident on stage, and so that was interesting.
Sometimes it just takes the right triggers, and then sometimes it's me.
Well, I don't know, man. I like most people seem to like find talking like normal conversation to be fine, and then going up on stage to be terrifying and the worst thing ever. And I'm usually the opposite way around, where like
that's the same thing with me.
Oh, of course.
Like I'm comfortable on stage, and like if I'm like performing because I'm under a persona, and if I'm talking to people normally, I'm like, fuck, now I have to like, you know.
Well, I think it's a level of preparedness too. If you're going on stage, you've prepared to be up there. You have a script. You have a level of control, knowing what's going to happen up there. In a conversation with a random person, you're never going to be able to predict what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get all your points out, if it's going to make sense, if the person's going to railroad you, not understand what you're trying to say.
Poor Dizzy.
Hey, I'm talking about me, goddammit.
Shade for no reason. Okay, we can move on to the next question, I think.
Question number 30, for real this time.
When did you last cry in front of another person? And when did you last cry by yourself? I last cried
last time I needed to cry was I don't remember the exact like how long ago it was, but I cry in front of my wife all the time if I need to. It's just a matter if I need to cry or not.
Well, that's nice that it's been long enough that you're not sure what the last time was.
I mean, it wasn't super long. It's just it's something I'm so comfortable doing. I don't think about it.
But that's cool. What a Chad.
Okay. I remember the last time I cried by myself. It was the time I lost my hat.
Oh man.
Oh fuck! Not your fucking hat, man.
Cue
If you haven't seen my hat, it's a fucking cool
cue the
hat.
Naruto sad flashback music.
Dude,
Please
please.
edit that in.
I don't want to be copy
No,
striked.
true. Well.
Imagine like an Indiana Jones hat, but made of but it's black.
Okay, it's pretty cool.
Dude. Oh, so you're one of those guys.
Hey, wait, what's
Yeah,
that supposed to? Wait, hang on.
I don't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
Indiana Tar?
No. It was a hat I got back in Italy. It was.
Ooh.
I think it went for something like 15 euros. The hat has seen a lot of love. I managed to find it, thank God. But that was a moment for me.
Well, damn. I gotta draw your Raichu avatar with a cool Indiana Jones hat now.
Yeah, we gotta put that in the the.
I didn't know
RPG.
that it was so important to you. There needs to be a quest for the lost hat.
All right, I'm gonna dip right quick while you guys give your responses.
The last time I cried by myself was not long ago at all, because I cried a lot in my efforts to write my new poem, which I guess no one will have seen, but in the audience. But I've been writing a poem about my breakup, and I had to confront a lot of things about it that were hard to confront and to figure out, and I cried a bunch. The last time I cried in front of another person, I'm not entirely sure, but it would have been recently for similar reasons. Yeah. Oh no, a guy who says the next question is gone. We're gonna have to skip this question.
Okay, question number 31.
31. It's like another redundant one. We don't have time.
Okay, question number 32.
What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Pass. I'm bad with this kind of stuff.
I can give my philosophical answer.
Hell yeah.
In philosophically speaking, and I don't think this is entirely applicable to the world right now with how sensitive and just everybody is online. But I really feel like joking, laughing, making fun of serious things is an important way of healing and learning. If we're so busy, if we're so mired in the pain of the past, how are we supposed to move on, get better, and be happy? Because bad things happen all the time, all around the world. Like I think it's one thing if someone's I think the only real time it's not okay to really make a joke or laugh something is when someone's like when someone you're around, like in a private place, is visibly and clearly upset about a certain thing, like if it's like something that's traumatic or whatever about them. But when you come to when it comes to a public space, you can't as I said before, once you say one thing's too serious to joke about, it creates a domino effect of what's everybody offended and triggered by or traumatized by, because every culture, everybody has different pasts, every culture has different taboos, and it's an impossible precedence to keep up with.
Well, I mean, that's especially difficult with the internet, where because if the rule you set is if somebody is obviously upset by this, then I better not do it. It's like, well, if you're on the internet, then there could be millions of people who are seeing what you're saying, and surely some percentage of them aren't gonna like it. Though, I mean, I guess the feeling of somebody you actually know in person saying something.
Well, I think. Well, I'm talking. Well, I think there's different. I think there's different perspectives when you're in a public space. So I view the internet as a public space. When you're in a public space, you can never be sure of when something offensive or something triggering or traumatic, or something that could trigger you would come out. You can't control that. When you're in a private space and in a place you should be feeling safe, that's I think there's a level of you let your guard down in a private space, where in the public you always have your guard. You always have your guard up. And
well, like because like if you had something traumatic happen to you, like it's not like you can't put trigger warnings on like the world, but you can put them in like more specific places than that. But
you're like in your house, your property, or like in your own personal private Discord server. Those places like when it comes to things like that, it's like, okay, these are places that I have control over. These are places that I own.
Like if your dad choked to death on a peanut, then like you can't go to the supermarket and expect them to not sell peanuts because it might hurt your feelings. But you don't have to have peanuts at home, and you can ask your friends to not talk about peanuts.
And if they keep talking about peanuts like in the private place, and they're like, and they know how it's offending you, they're probably not good friends, and you probably should cut ties with them. If they're making these jokes around you while they know that these upset you and offend you, then maybe that's not a good friend dynamic to have. But in a public space, I guess it depends on the context too. But I'm talking about more maliciously, like they're maliciously like, yeah, we know this offends you, we're still going to say it anyways.
Yeah, I think the only real guideline for what's too serious to joke about is like just try to be generally mindful and compassionate towards other people, or to at least consider why it might be a taboo in the first place. Like if you're just like, if you're just breaking taboos just because it's fun without really considering the weight of it, then I think that's silly. Like there's certain people that I would trust to make certain kinds of jokes more than others. I guess I'll just say be mindful. Moving on.
What question are we on now? 33?
33, yeah.
Question number 33!
If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret having not told someone? And why haven't you told them yet?
Oh, fuck. What? All these questions are about death. What the shit?
I don't know, man. I guess...
Yeah.
We're on 33. We're on, like... This is, like, high level fucking... These are the bosses.
I'll be honest. I don't think that's not the first thing I'd be thinking of if I was... Like I've got so many... I've got so many things that I want to do and want to accomplish, but I'm pretty okay with not... Like, I don't have anything really in my head that I'm like, oh, I'd regret telling this person. Like, I mean, in regards to my wife, like, I'm open about, like, anything that I'd want her to know if something happened to me. Like, I've already said that to her. I don't hold on to those sorts of regrets. Like I don't put myself in that sort of situation. And when it comes to other people, it's sort of the same thing. Like, if I want you to know something, I'm going to let you know something.
Well, I mean, we like both value honesty, and so we try and be honest with people around us as well. So yeah, I don't like. I feel like this question makes more sense if maybe you have an estranged family member or like a friend you've broken up with or something. Yeah, like I don't think there's anything that I super regret not telling anyone that I can think of. I feel like most people that I love know that I love them. So yeah, I'd be more like, fuck, I'll never get to I'll never get to see E3 this year.
I'll throw one thing out there. I'd regret not telling Tar that I don't think he needs to be as insecure or as guarded as he is. I think he should be more open about his interest in more just open. I think I think Tar's a cool dude with a lot of interesting thoughts, and I feel like it'd just be cool to just, even if he doesn't give a fuck, just to be more of himself.
I can only produce a thought once my singular brain cell hits a corner of my brain.
I think you sell yourself way too short. You sell you. The other big thing is I'd regret not scheduling and getting around to having Lunch play Turnabout and seeing his reaction to that.
Coming soon.
At some Yeah, my wife got a green card recently, so we're hoping that she can go schedule a trip to go visit her mom, which means I have time to live stream with people, especially Lunch, who's in a completely opposite weird time zone.
Ooh, sounds good. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Question number 34.
Oh my god. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be? Why?
Laptop?
Dude,
Duh?
fucking. I mean, obviously outside of my work laptop because I've got like work shit on there. Like, don't fucking do this to me. I've got too many game consoles. I couldn't shoot. I'd be in the middle of the fire, just like trying to determine what to take, and I'd burn it
Yeah,
myself.
exactly. Yeah, like
Same.
looking at the fucking Xbox.
I'd regret
and
losing the Switch,
Dreamcast,
but
and I'm like,
my laptop and my Switch are pretty close to each other. I feel like I
there's
could
only there's not enough time to get both
both.
things.
Fuck!
Well, granted, I'm in a small apartment. I could probably make that time.
I live on the second floor, bitch.
I'm on the ground floor, bitch. I'm in a little like separate apartment sort of thing. So like, I just go out the door and there's the ground.
Okay, well, like, this isn't about logistics, it's about what you value. The question's basically saying, what's the most important thing you own?
My laptop. Much as I want to save the Switch too.
As much as like I'd want to say like my PlayStation or my like. Here's the thing: I don't even value my Switch that much right now because I don't have as many games for it. Whereas my PlayStation, I have so many unfinished games. But to the same extent, it's like I think it would come down to maybe my PlayStation just because of all the save data I have on there.
This is a weird one.
Like,
the more I think about this question, the more I think it, like, if I just got out of my burning house with my life, like, what else in here could possibly really matter? Like,
that's the other thing. It's like I don't know if I'd act. I feel like I'm too much of a pussy to run back into that PlayStation.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way. No
Me
way
too,
would I run
I
back
think
in.
maybe
for-
possibly.
I'd be like, nope, I'm not
Yeah.
tempting fate anymore. I mean, there are things that I care about. I mean, I like my computer. Most of my important like data is backed up on the internet somehow. The things that are currently relevant to me. Though but I've got all my poems on my computer. Yeah, maybe I'd say my computer.
Yeah.
Gotta get my poems. I got 42 poems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we beat out the last few questions now?
Question number 35.
Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
I mean, obviously,
don't do this to me.
Well, I'd obviously say my wife just because like I emotionally rely on her so much.
Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty fair answer.
Don't make me pick a favorite family member.
Well, there could be another reason you find a death disturbing.
Pass.
See, my family jokes about like I've considering I've gone through some like older family member deaths, and my family's kind of got like a dark sense of humor. I don't necessarily feel. I feel like I'd miss them, but I feel like I'm mentally and emotionally prepared for them. The only person I'm not mentally and emotionally prepared for is my wife.
Yeah, right. Because like, it's just a fact of life that, you know, you're gonna have to deal with the death of your parents, most likely. But a partner, yeah, that would totally take you by surprise.
Yeah, I think the only like maybe like other like person would be like my brother, and that's mainly because he's my younger brother, and like it'd have to be something shocking and disturbing. Like it wouldn't be like a health related thing. It'd be like car accident in the middle of a bad thing, and that's the sort of like thing that like can fuck with you. Like in general, it's like someone like really close to you getting into a really bad, like a bad twist of fate.
This is a difficult question.
Especially to answer on cast.
Yeah. Well, whatever. My family's not gonna come on.
Like if we weren't on cast, I would definitely be more open with my answer to this question.
Okay, so Toss secretly has a favorite family member. Okay. There are multiple. I mean, on one hand, my first thought was my brother, just because like I don't know, like he's my brother. Like I guess if my parents died, like, oh geez, I don't know. Actually, I think I can't, for some reason, instead of like some random event, I'm imagining this being suicide, and maybe that's just because like a friend of mine's, his dad committed suicide like 4 or 5 years ago, and so like that's kind of what I imagine this kind of scenario to be like. So I don't know. I feel like it would be more so my parents than my brother, because because like I think I'd be less likely to feel that I could have done something with my brother, because trying to like convince my brother of anything is not easy, because he's super free spirit. I don't know. I'll just say one of my parents. Maybe, honestly, maybe my dad, because I feel like I would have felt like I could have done something more. I could have reached out more, because I know that he's not always the happiest. Anyway, next question.
Last question, number 36.
Woo.
Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it.
Nope.
You can't say nope on 36.
Nope.
Well,
But the good. I think Tar's problem is that he's too guarded, and that he won't talk about his very personal issues on this very public cast.
it is very public. This is
You're saying I don't have good reasons for that?
No.
Tar's
I
definitely
think
in
Lunch
legal
just cut
trouble.
out. Yeah.
Shit, they found out.
I think Tar's actual real issue is that he doesn't have enough quips, because he's out of quips.
I am out of quips. I need help with this.
Tar's issue is that he stole a very valuable hat, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
Oh, I told you I paid 15 euros for it.
My issue is that this cast has gone on far too long. If Lunch doesn't have an answer to give, like I'm happy with going out and getting myself me and my wife some Buffalo Wild Wings, because currently my problem right now is that I don't know what sauce to get, because we usually get the salt and vinegar, but the salt dries my mouth out way too much, and the air's been too dry to be dealing with that shit at bedtime. So like I'm currently just trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to be putting on my chicken wings.
Just regular buffalo, man. Can't go wrong with the classic.
I mean, I know, but I'm looking. I've been enjoying like the more of the seasonings rather than the sauces recently.
Well,
I don't know how to help you. I've never actually been to Buffalo Wild
just
Wings.
get some buffalo.
Oh, it's so
but don't
good.
put on a lot.
I'm sure it
Just
is.
like a very moderate amount. Hey, guys in the comments, feel free to comment in with what kind of sauce should go on Try's chicken wings.
On Try's chicken wings that he got on Saturday.
Yeah. But this has been Bros in a Landfill.
Signing off.
Climax we all deserved.
Yes.
Of course. It was all leading up to this.
This is more flaccid than that one answer that Lunch was going to give.
How?
I'm fucking with you.
Bye.
Bye.